friends, and welcome to Story Time. My name is Miss Katie, and our story this week is called The Snowman. It's by Raymond Briggs. And this story has kind of a surprise for you. It has no words. So we look at the picture, and then we can tell the story by the picture. Are you ready? Okay. I'm going to come up real close so you can see the pictures. Can you see the little boy sleeping? And he gets up and he sees that snow has been falling. And he gets dressed, puts on his, what is this? A shirt and his pants and his boots. And he puts on a hat and he heads outside. But what happens? His hat blows off in the wind. He's going to go play in the snow, isn't he? Wow. He looks like he is going to build and roll a snowball, and he's making a snowman. But he had to stop because his mom said, "Come on in for some hot chocolate and a little snack." Then he goes back outside and he starts building the snowman again, and he puts on the snowman's head. Do you see the snowman right here? And then he goes back inside and he says, "Mom, I need something for the snowman." So he gets his hat and his scarf, puts it right around his neck so he stays nice and warm, and his hat. And then he goes get some, what is that? I think it's a carrot. And he puts the carrot on for his nose and some coal. And he puts some of the coal down for his buttons and even for his eyes. Can you see? Wow, that's a really cool looking snowman. That night, they all watched some TV together in their house, but the little boy kept looking outside the window at his snowman. And he so wanted to be with his snowman. He brushed his teeth as he was looking at his snowman. He was getting ready for bed, but he still kept looking out the window to see if the snowman was still there. His mom tucked him in to go to bed, and he was going to dream about the snowman, but he just couldn't stay in bed any longer. So what did he do? Well, he looked out the window and he saw the snowman, and he thought, and he thought, and he thought, and then he went outside. And he opened up the door, and the snowman took his hat off to say hello. Can you see him taking his hat down? Wow, that's a very nice snowman, isn't he? The snowman walked over to the door and shook his hand. And the little boy said, "Would you like to come inside?" And the snowman said, "Sure." And he thought he needed to warm up by the fire, but what happened? It was too hot, and he didn't want to melt. So they went over by the TV, and he stayed way away so he wouldn't melt. Then he saw the lamp, and he turned it on, and he turned it off, and then he turned it on again. He liked to play with the lamp. Then they went over by the heater, and he said, "Don't come over here, it's too hot." So the snowman stayed way away from the furnace. And then they went into this next door. I wonder where they're going to go. Let's see where that little boy is taking the snowman. It looks like they went into the kitchen. Do you see the stove? And then they turned on the light. And the snowman said, "I want to try that." So he turned it on, turned it off, turned it on, turned it off. Then they went over to the faucet, and they turned on the water, and it was all over. And then the snowman went to the stove. Do you see that right here? But it was very hot, and the little boy said, "Stay away from the stove, it's too warm." So he went over, and he was playing with all these different things, and he squirted, it looks like some green paint. And they had to take all the paper towels and clean it up. And then they had some ice cubes, and the snowman loved the ice cubes. And he loved the refrigerator too. Then the little boy said, hey, let's climb up the stairs. Do you see how he's going up the stairs? And he introduced them to the mom and dad that's in bed. But they were sleeping, so they had to be very quiet. And then he got to go into the room and he got to see his picture of the little boy. And while they were in the bedroom, the snowman tried on his dad's tie and his glasses and his mom's hat and his pants with overalls on them. Look at that. He's trying on all their clothes and hats. And then they went upstairs to his bedroom and they got to play with all their different toys on the skateboard with his balloons. Ooh, the snowman couldn't stay on the skateboard and look what happened to him. He went flying onto the ground. He hit his head a little bit, but he said he was okay. And then he got to try the punching bag. And the punching bag came back and hit him. Oops! But he was okay. Then he got to try the flashlight. Ooh, did he like the flashlight with the balloons? Look at that. Let's see what else happens. Then they went upstairs again. Or no, they went downstairs. Look at, they went to where the car is. Do you know where your car is? Outside, isn't it? Or in the garage? It looks like this car's in the garage. And they turned the lights on and you got to try the steering wheel. Oh boy, he's having a lot of fun in that car. And then he got out of the car and he found the freezer in the garage. And look at how cold it is in there. The snowman went in the freezer to get really, really chilled because he's a snowman and he likes to be cold. So then they left the freezer and he went inside and sat down in a chair and they were going to have something to eat. And after they ate, they were going to finish up the dishes. And the snowman wanted to go somewhere, so he took the little boy by his hand and they went outside. They went outside and then it looks like the snowman said, I want to take you for a little ride. And the little boy said, sure, I'll go for a ride with you. And they did. They flew all over the place. Wow. How much fun would that be? They went to different places and different cities. He got to look at a lot of things, didn't he? And it looks like they went and oh my goodness. Look at how they're even flying to look at some lakes and they got to go where there was like a railing. He can fly and he can land. He can do so many things. And the little boy got to go with him. But guess what's coming up? The sunshine. So the little boy had to come back home. So the snowman came back to the house and took him inside and gave him a big hug and said, come out again and we will play. And so he waved to him way up in his room again. And when he woke up, the first thing he did was run out of his room, run down the stairs, run past his parents that were eating dinner. I think they probably had eggs and bacon and, I don't know, maybe cereal, some toast, jam for breakfast. I think so too. But guess what happened? When he went outside, the snowman was a puddle. And what do you think that little boy did? I bet he built another snowman. That's the fun thing about snow. You can always build another snowman, or snow fort, or snowballs, and have so much fun. Well, thanks for joining me for story time. Have a good day.